Did you see it?
Slowly but surely, I am getting every no Foo Fighters. Yes, sorry, no Foo Fighters. There are no fighters. There is no fun effects, and I'm on 3D right now. So, if anyone was curious, like why that is and why things might be extra smooth, it's not my birthday flu. I'm sorry to say. If anyone's wondering why things are like extra smooth or why there's like some missing pieces here and there. Fun fact: I decided to do an entire like reinstallation of my PC going up to Windows 11, and I thought that doing this at approximately 3 in the afternoon would have given me enough time to do it. You're functioning like a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic. Well, all the weird eared furries like FNAF for whatever reason, so it's not like the craziest thing. But yeah, so I decided to try and build a PC and get it to like, working functionality in the span of 2 to 3 hours. It did not get done in 2 to 3 hours. Also, I need to check something. Yep, cool, that works. I am just right now fixing a lot of different stuff right now. Give me a second. Ding donk. So that goes to that, and then this goes to that. So I'm having to like do a lot of like crazy stuff. Why? It's not weird. Sorry. All right, I shouldn't have said that boy. I'm sorry. Liking FNAF is not weird. Having a FNAF animatronic persona, however, I will probably put a little more into that. You know, you could just have a robot persona. You don't need to make it the FNAF it has to kill you thing. But yes, so slowly but surely, why do I have Leroy's feet and a fucking groin in my chat? What are you doing, Flu? Here I am trying to... I was going into chats and randomly saying hi. Why not? You just have a robot persona, okay? Just have a robot persona. Oh, butts. I can do a butt. Hang on a second. Cake. There we go. Cake. So yeah. So I've been reinstalling... I reinstalled, like, you know, the... What's-a-mahoozy... Windows 11. That's it. I've reinstalled Windows 11, and I'm starting my PC to relatively scratch. And one of the things I didn't realize is VNyan and VCFace actually use my app data. They don't hold their information locally. So I have to like redo like all my graphs, all my settings for those two programs, while also trying to get OBS up and running. So some fonts are different. Some what's-a-mahoozies might be, you know, a little bit out of place. But all this... So that way I can play on Windows using a Windows 11 operating system. And so far it is, you know, it's getting there. Like, it's functional. Actually, let me see what happens. If I run VCFace right now...
Fatboy_97 thinks you should do 20 squats.
This is all really distracting. I am trying oh so hard, like trying to get all this done, and I'm like doing two things at once. It's like I'm trying to make sure Final Fantasy does its thing. I'm trying to figure out what sounds from StreamerBot aren't going to be properly played, and I then need to go and let's see. So chatbot should be fine. Let's see, bit redeems, those should be fine. Counters. Bonking for hornies. Okay, that one I do have to fix. Hang on a second. Shink, dink, hit the OK. Bonk zebra, that's also needing to ding. Booping nose. Wait, why can't it find... Dun, 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 dun. No, it should be in there. Why is it saying it's not in there? Hang on. That should definitely be in there. Why is it saying it's not? Oh, because of... Hang on. Boop. There we go. It's not working. Okay, I might need to disable... I'll have to refund you that one. If it will let me. Let me see if it will let me refund you. Remind me later. Offline. No thingamadiggy landscape. Reject on that. I'm just gonna refund like a lot of different people. All right, let me do my 20 squats. Why did you think upgrading your PC an hour before? It was 3 hours before stream. Thank you very much. It was 3 hours. I thought I gave myself plenty. Ignore that. That was just the second chair I was using. Oh yeah, that's probably not going to work as well. Well, that's an exclamation point command. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got so many things I need to fix. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I know everything is broken. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I understand everything is broken. I am fixing everything as I go. You miss your best friend and your ex-boyfriend, but he's leaving the day. I really miss him. No, don't riot. You can't make your dad... I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Don't you worry. Things will get fixed, okay? Slowly but surely. Slowly but absolutely surely, I will get everything fixed. Like, hang on. TTS bot. That's the... So, TTS bot, it needs to... Alright, so I need to set the images for the ducky, which is... ding. And then ding. Does all that. Estimates a delay. Alright, so it does that. And then... set that. Ding, 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 ding. All right. I'll get everything fixed, don't you worry. Why can't you trust an atom? They just make up everything. Alrighty, let me see if I... Alright, why can't you trust an atom? Let's see if this works. Users, events, channel redeems. Huh. A lot of things broken. Oh, Twitch account isn't logged in. That's why. Log into that. It will reconnect shortly. Do not riot on me, Masonic. It will all work. Also, I need to rename you. I need to click on the thingy-majiggy. I then... Oh, no! It doesn't have the fucking... what's-a-mahoozies. Hang on. Oh, I can't turn on my Twitch ad on. Damn it. I can't rename people right now. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. Voice aliases. Test speak.
This is a test message.
Okay, I think that works. All right. Say why.
Why?
There we go. Okay, the TTS bot should hopefully work now. If someone wants to give it a try. Ding. No, not the command. That's only for moderators. I meant the redeem. I'm sorry. Okay, yep, that's going into the thingamadoogs there. So that's fine. And then so that's doing that, and then the bonk goes to there.
Otto_Valric paid me to say Grant smells.
Hey, I don't smell. I am a proper Zeeb, thank you very much. I do my thing I do the proper showers and all that. Alrighty. Ding dong. I've almost fixed a lot of different stuff. Execute code for Rainbow Rush. Set the thingamadiggy as visible. Play a random sound. Here. Shirt be gone. And then... Actually, I'm probably gonna have to disable like a few of the redeems I just realized because you won't be able to actually use them. Start prediction is okay. Cake, nope. Compliment your Himbo cam. Disable that. Pixelate the Zeebs. Disable that.
Hendrix92 paid me to say a raged.
Rage. Rainbow scan the zebra should work. Bonk, boop. Oh, cactar can't tack. That doesn't work anymore. Cookie. That doesn't work anymore. Bonking the zebra. That technically doesn't work anymore. Did you see it works? Drop the anvil. Doesn't work. Dropping something doesn't work. Head pat doesn't work. Hydrate. Oh, there's a TTS involved with it, so that's fine. Peck dance doesn't work. Throwing something doesn't work. Traffic cone doesn't work. D-Himbo, Hyper Himbo, Maid, and Stolen Shirt, all those do not work. So, all right. So I've disabled the different channel redeems that do not work. I'll get those working hopefully tomorrow or some shit like that. What else do I need to fix, chat? Besides, you know, my face. Should be gone. Video request.
Hendrix92 paid me to say arranged.
Arranged. Arranged. Arranged. Alrighty. Okay, so quote does API hook stuff. Set stream, set game. Oh, sucking a lemon, that needs to get changed. And then icy sounds. Oh, I also need to change the actual, like... My goodness, so many... Oh, yeah, boobies don't work. Hello doesn't work. My goodness, so many. Wait. Oh, yeah, I'm in sound effects right now, so give me a second. These will all come back. I thought I would have a lot more time than just 3 hours to do this. All right. Boobies! All right, cool. Boobies works. The did you see it works because I think that's like, you know, within OBS that I have it do that. All right, let's see.
Hello.
Hello works. Boop. All right, now I've got like a random... So now I have to set like all these hello there's. Ding. Dong. Ding. Bam.
Otto_Valric paid me to say what about pull the lever.
Give me a second. Let me check that one. Oh, that might work.
Pull the lever, crunk.
Let's see.
Glug, glub, glug, glub, glug.
All right, that works as well. All right. I'll go through the hydrate shortly. This is probably going to alienate so many people where they're just like, what in the world is this? I was expecting some high quality content from this zebra, and the absolute himbo of a man has failed me. I was expecting some cool 3D nonsense, and that didn't happen. Well, I'm sorry that didn't happen. I thought I had enough time, but I didn't because, you know, I'm an idiot. All right, so we did all those scary scales. Ding. Yeah, that's fine. That's on the thingamadoogie. And then throw them all here. Nice, cock. Perfect. So yeah, because one of the things I did, chat, like, I know this is probably not, like, 100% accurate. Also, I'm seeing a lot of, you know, where is my doc for stats? Yeah, there we go. Ding. Actually, bitrate's going a little bit ups and downsies. Uh-oh. Yeah. bitrate is going a little bit ups and downs, Z's, but, you know, if I was a clever Zeebs, I would have given me, like, a full day to do all this, rather than, you know, 3 hours, but I didn't, because, you know, Himbo, and I was overconfident in my skills as a desktop support technician. So, ding, bing bong, bing 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 bing, bing 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 bong, bing 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 bong. All right, so 2TS there, we bowling, done. Ah, the U dieds. Those will need to get fixed. I know you can't technically kill me right now, but we're getting closer. Ding. Donk. Habam. Haboom. Alright. Twitch info. Timers. Okay, so the timers should be okay. There's no host. There's no hype. Well, technically, if we do get to hype train. I doubt we will. Prediction for channel points. Refunding. Oh, shout out with an overlay. So that one, yep, so that's fine there. That's fine there. That's fine there. Sets to visible. Does that. Does that. Sound for when a person gets banned. When I delete a message. Maybe give yourself 2 days to... I won't need 2 days for this. I don't know... I don't need 2 days for this. That's a ridiculous amount of time. I don't need 2 days. I simply need only a little more than... Where's my train of thought at? I need only... Where's my brain at? Oh, that's the wrong way. I only need, like, probably an extra few hours, which I will definitely be able to do from Whatsamahoozies onwards. Let's see, compile? Yep, that compiles. Save and compile. All right, so the rating check for Himbo should work. Now, what about the rating check for Cute? Bing, ding, ding, ding. Compile, save and compile. Cute, auto. Hey, that worked. Alrighty, that worked. See? I'd get it in lickety-split time. Like, we are 90% functional or something like that, I'd say. Plus, I still have all my fun little noises right around here. Oh. Weird. Why didn't that work? Oh, because I don't have the... Alright, hang on. Yeah, no, voice mod's installed, so why... Ah, because probably the Stream Deck doesn't have... Alright, quit out of Stream Deck. And then open Stream Deck again. Only 1%? That wasn't me. That was the robot, okay? Do not blame me for the opinions of the robot, alright? The robot is... The robot should not be blamed for any of this shit, okay? Start in the thingy-majiggy tray, ask before updating, keybinds, soundboard. There we go, that worked. Also, why did that go into my mic? Alrighty. Okay, I can close that. Close this. Hey, what do you know? Final Fantasy finished downloading a while ago. I can actually play... I can actually play Final Fantasy. Alrighty, close this. Hit play on you. And... Alright, hopefully this isn't a disaster. Alrighty. Nice work on the Himbo rating, that boy. Nice work. Do you guys hear that? Hopefully you guys are hearing that. Remove that. Game sources, studio mode. Hi, you can hear it? Excellent. Hi, Choji. I decided to reinstall my PC to Windows 11, and it did not work as well as I had hoped. Give me a mo. Alright, so I can, like, turn on this if I wanted to. Alright, you should hear the Final Fantasy music at least. Yes, you do. Awesome. The music is kind of wonky, though. Ha, might be the bitrate. Things are very wonky. I'm gonna just turn on my Chrome music sounds and see if that hears me. Beep, 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 beep. Alright. You don't need to see, like, the bottom thingy-majiggy, but yay! Hi there, Ingro. Lost you for a sec, but I think we're back. Excellent. Good to see that we're back. So. Final Fantasy XIV! Yay! Oh my gosh, there's a... This is probably not the right bit rate. Hang on. Hi, Angirl. Hi, I have to, like... Oh my goodness. So many things I am going to need to fix up at a time when I'm not streaming right at this moment. Alright, so, stream. I don't believe I can, like, manipulate any of that stuff. Good morning to you, Furry Cures! Welcome to the stream! I have recently reinstalled, my operating system, so I'm technically on... Windows 11 now, so I can, like, so the main monitor in front of me is, like, you know, high dynamic range and all this nonsense. Yeah, it's already 14. Borderless full screen. If we go full screen, it's gonna... Let's go 2560 at 165 hertz. Let's see what happens. Keep these settings. Yes. Now, if I click into here... Awesome. It doesn't, like, Philly break me. Studio mode. Game. Capture any full screen applications. Allow transparency. Hook rate normal. S something or rather. How is Windows 11 going for you? I have only been using Windows 11 for about 2 hours on my personal PC, but we've been using Windows 11 quite a bit over in the office, over in my work. We've been using it for like a little bit over a year. So, you know, it's very much the same as, where am I in my brain? It's very similar to Windows 10, quite frankly. So it's not like too bad or too different. All right, so we got custom. I could actually go for high for the desktop. Let's see, will it let me change? Let's see, dynamic resolution, adjusts resolution for optimal performance. Use low details on distant objects. Shadows along all the different people. Use low detail models on shadows. Yep. Shadow resolution is high. Movement physics, effects, glare, water, depth of field. Nothing to really make it turn into high dynamic range stuff, though. You're tired and you need sleeps? Fair enoughsies. Full gamma, character lighting, frame rate. Limit frame rate when is inactive, limit FPS when away from keyboard. Huh. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, that's cool.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Alrighty. Okay, so we did all that, but now we need so we're going through the main quest line. That's what we're meant to be doing. We have all this shit. Oh yeah, that's right. I did 1 or 2 side quests just so I can make my money back. So then when I travel to Ul'dah, sure, the travel is expensive as fuck, but, you know, I'm not in trouble. Oh my goodness. Nope, that volume does nothing. There we go. 50% volume should be enough. Nice cute rating. 42%. So yeah, this is going to be one of those extra janky sort of streams yet again. I will try to have this fixed before tomorrow. Don't you worry. It will work out. If you go through life, you know, accepting things as they come along and doing your best at another time, things will be good. Oh my goodness, the bit rate is really wonky. Like, I'm just seeing it going rapidly up, rapidly down. Like, it did like major dips. This is me trying to stream at like 1080p as well. Because normally I only stream to you guys at like 720p, but right now this is like 1080p. Let's see, so... Oh, there were like... Alright, so hang on, so 20, 21... Alright, on the 24th from... Oh my goodness, did I really start half an hour late? No, I couldn't have. Maybe I did. Because it's like different modules are doing things, but... Oh, this chart is having so much fun, isn't it? In the past 4 hours. In the past hour. So yeah, I would do like 2,500 kilobits or kilobytes to try and do the 60 thingamadiggy, and I think my text is no longer there. Music is a touch loud. Oh, it just hits like at the 10, and when I'm normally speaking, then it will like, you know, move downwards and such. I don't think I can skip this though, but there we go. I can fix it, don't you worries. And you agreed to this. I'm well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monetarists at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Alrighty, so, first things first, get into the menu and lower the music, the particular music volume even further, which is System, Sound. So, we got background music at 50. Let's put it down to 33. Sound effects, we'll probably keep at 33. Voice will keep at 100. System will be at 90. Performance at 100. I don't know why the DualSense Shocker wants to do all that kind of stuff. Anyway, click OK, close. Oh, we're at the Waking Sands already. Shit, that was quick. Also, I should probably also, hang on, where is it? There it is. Filters, and I can turn off the crop and padding. So then that way you can see like a little bit more of the bottom. Also, most importantly, do my zooms work? It looks like they do. But yeah. So, this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but never had occasion to visit. To work then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves. To ourselves. Oh, hello, Lolorito.
Personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed.
I
Though,
hate him.
If it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Oh, I'm not gonna like you, am I? Also, I need to take a drink of water. I forgot to do that so fucking long ago. My mistake. I'm just gonna refund points for most of today's stream. Just because, you know, it's extra jank and what have you, and I think it would probably suit, you know, viewers today to not have too much of their channel points going away. I think some of the redeems I have technically go past the request, but I think most of those have been disabled, so you can't even do those particular redeems. But anything else, I should be able to, like, you know, just hit reject and you get refunded for those. I'll still do whatever the ones are, like the 20 squats, the hydrate, but you'll get your points back for it at the very least. Hi there, friendly pylon. Thank you for the pets. I'm gonna need it. I upgraded my PC to Windows 11 3 hours before this stream started. I got the PC installed. I got a number of programs installed, but I didn't get the configuration of my bot.
My day be so fine. Then boom.
Horny. My day do be so fine, though. I was able to get most of the programs installed. I just didn't get the configurations done. I need to figure out... But thankfully, here's the clever part, chat. I went and got myself a brand new... Wait, closer. I might be off center, but that's okay. I went and got myself an entirely new SSD to install this Windows 11 on. So rather than installing Windows 11 on like this small, like 500 gigabyte solid state drive, I installed
your
it.
rice paddy. I'm
calm. I went and installed Windows 11 on a 4 terabyte NVMe SSD. I put it onto an absolute chonky tonky full hard drive. It is brand absolutely fanking new. And what that means is I actually haven't overwritten the SSD that holds my previous Windows 10 installation, which means that the user folder from there with all the app data and shit is still, you know, it's still there. I have like a cool NVMe enclosure, or an M.2 enclosure, sorry, to put the hard drive in, so I can treat it like an external USB drive. So what I can do is, because I'm running my operating system on an entirely different sort of what's-a-mahoozy. Why did you drop a traffic cone on me? How rude. Well, you didn't actually drop a traffic cone on me, but you said you would do it. So yeah, so because I have my operating system on a brand spanking new hard drive, I'm able to hold on to the older hard drives, because technically I had two. I had like I had one SSD holding my operating system and some of my user folders, and I had a secondary SSD that was slightly larger than the original one, holding all my games. But now I have a new hard drive that is bigger than both of those things combined. So hopefully everything will be contained upon one, massive SSD instead of on two separate ones. So that's something I'm gonna work on after stream, is revisiting my old hard drive and trying to, copy any important app datas and restoring them back into, this entirely new USB, or this entirely new operating system. I don't want to do that for everything. I don't want to copy the entire app data folder back onto the new PC, because one of the reasons why I wanted an entirely new hard drive is I wanted to do a sort of spring clean of my operating system and my PC at home. I didn't want to, make it an upgrade where it was holding on to, all this bloat and extra nonsense. I wanted to try and have it, highly performative, but not have extra bloat. No baggage, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, fuck Lolorito here. I would honestly have, given him like a booster seat. Why is she wearing a mask? Oh, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants.
You have made your point. It is indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
I don't know if there's anything special about his eyes. This could all just be a case of, I don't like you playing the whole politics like a poker game by wearing super big shades and a ball cap to try and hide any, micro expressions you might be pulling off. But here's the thing, chat. Micro expressions are bullshit. You don't have, like, a cool science for figuring out when someone's lying or not. You just have, quote-unquote tells, but that's, that's, like, weird intuition. That's, like, weird social intuition. That's not, like, confirmation shit.
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I'm most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate.
Uh-huh.
But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more.
Okay. I still
Amigo, You ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar. Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Oh boy. Why are you asking me this? I barely remember my time. I don't remember what these three were like. Hang on. Gaha. Giri. And the Sultry. Area in the last forest. Google, it's the one way to turn the gears of memory. It is the one way to turn the gears of memory. I just need to figure out, like, what would be the appropriate... What would be the appropriate choice? I want to say the Sultry, because it like it has the.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld.
Oh. I think I picked the wrong choice if he's calling it a desolate little village.
I know the Sultry and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gill.
Salt? That one worked?
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Nice.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
Just as the Founding Fathers intended.
A deal is struck then.
Dun 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 dun.
Furry Cures 1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
I fear it would be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations, but I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Grant. I could not have done it without you. Awesome. Alright. Let's get the squats going. I can at least do that. Squat time indeed! Squat time indubitably! Squat time indubitably. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. You can't decide on what to have for dinner. Burritos. Choji. Burritos. Go for that strong Mexican. Don't go for Nando's. Don't go for that Portuguese stuff. You want burritos. Get spicy burritos. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Grant, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the people of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. Da-da-dun. Gear Albania, 792. See? Boy agrees with me. Burrito. Grant, you're back! What did Namino... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Raban says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tells you something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you've convinced him to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all, that has happened. He is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, this, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal, I have one caveat I would like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphanaud, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though. We need to discuss this proposal with the Sultry residents. Weiskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Wat thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Grant? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Wat wish to discuss further figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. But yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Alrighty. Oh, I might know why my PC is like having a very fun time with the It's because I'm trying to upload a shit ton of things because my OneDrive is like trying to back up like my my Twitch resources and shit. It doesn't need to do that. Alrighty. Where are we going? Okay, we're going outside. Cool. Such massive fucking gates! What's the spiky thing? Oh, the spiky thing is just a light. Never mind. Alright, Ow. Okay, so I have not yet unlocked flying in this area. I am missing a critical mission. I don't know where it is. Hopefully I'm going the right way. Why do my arms feel weird? Have I, like, cut the circulation off or something in my hand? No, I haven't. So I don't think I did. What are we doing in these ruins? What manner of mischief brings you youngins to old what this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Saltery, Grandad. Grant, tell them about the deal.
97 paid me to say what did one had say to the other. Stay here. I'm going on ahead.
Nice work. Nice work indeed-ities. Well, bugger me, we've never had the coin or the hand to put this place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Grandad. We'll take care of all that. Commander Hext has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that, wise car. I'd appreciate that, wise car, my lad. I truly I would. So, does this mean you've gotten better with the blade of yours? I've been training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Grant? Think you could cast an eye over the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Looks like I am going to have to fight some crabs. We got crabs to fight. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall make Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting. Dun, dun, dun. Grant, right then, Grant. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at those pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I go on. Search your surroundings for yabbies. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a yabble and inspect it with the left trigger. Oh, it's gonna be like the what's-mahoozies. Uh-huh. Let's see. No? No. What am I supposed to be doing? Hey, what's up, that boy?
Faboy_97 paid me to say a guy walks into a bar. And he was disqualified from the limbo contest.
I just got that. That's a good one. Nice. 5 out of 10. What do you want me to observe? Okay, his jaw. That makes no sense. Why is his jaw the weak point? The Yabble's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Oh, is that why? Ah, looks like you found a Yabby. They say hitting their shell like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Aim for the soft underside of the head. Because that's what I just been told by the game. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then. Wish me luck. He needs my help. I can just feel it. He needs my help. Oh, he got it. Good for him. Thanks, Grant. I did just as you told me, and the wavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Alrighty. How hard can it be? How bad is he? Alright, he's not the worst. Choji, do you have any good jokes? Oh! Kabusi. Hi there, Sashera. Hi there, Unity. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I don't know why that text is not working. It should have said, like, Tales of the Kingdom and all that. Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Grant. I am a variety himbo streamer. Normally, I would be three-dimensional and all this kind of crazy nonsense, but I'm not because I had done something stupid. I have done a fucky-wucky. I thought that I could install my operating system, Windows 11, on a brand new hard drive and put all of my programs and the configurations and my preferences back together in 3 hours. This is false. It took me all that time. Hang on, stop zooming in. It took me all those 3 hours just to get everything reinstalled. So, this is why you have, like, this is why you have me, you know, just PNG tuber right now. No, I did not win a staring contest at a Gorgon on Dazzy. I get distracted by the boobies. Sashera saw the tweet and was just like, dude, no. Look, I got the OS installed in like lickety-split time. The TPM was like, you know, turned off on the BIOS, so that's why it took me a little bit longer. But I got Final Fantasy installed. I got OBS installed. I got Chrome. I got like different things installed. I just didn't have the Twitch bot, the streamer bot configured correctly. And VCFace and Vignon don't save their settings or their preferences in the folder that I run them in. They save them in the app data folder. But because I installed the operating system on an entirely new hard drive, instead of it going, instead of wiping the old hard drive, I still have the old hard drive. So then that way I can just, you know, observe the folder, find out where in the app data...
Emotional damage.
find out where in the app data the whatsamahoozy preferences and configurations are for Vignon and VC face, and then that way I'm able to just restore myself to my glorious 3-dimensional self. Hopefully I'll be able to do all that before tomorrow afternoon, which means I am probably going to be waking up a little bit earlier than I normally would on a Sunday. This is fair and understandable, Dazzy says, for looking at a Gorgon. But yeah, how was Tears of the Kingdom Unity? Or if you gotta like unwind after your stream, that's okay. You don't just use your face tracking with Vignon. I use... Okay, so here's... With Vignon, there's all these nodes. So I have all these like node graphs for all the redeems and shit. So even though I had Vignon like, you know, on an external hard drive, its preferences and all the node graphs, they're all saved in the user's app data folder instead, is my assessment. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to go into the old hard drive and double check the previous user's application data and see if there's anything about Vignon in there, which I think there's very likely a chance there is, because I know VC Face also saves content in the app data folder. The app data folder is really useful for, like, you know, when you have multiple kinds of users using the same program, but you want to have, like, you know, different preferences between the users. It's great for that, but I'm the only user on this PC, so didn't really work out that well for me. I think I can handle the yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? Alrighty. Magnification time. So we got these, like, little rocks here. What's the Sandman? Yeah, no, but I mean, you still use Vignon will take tracking data on its own. You don't have to have 2 programs. Really? Are you sure? I did not think Vignon had the like, I know Vignon has a little bit of the iPhone tracking in there, but I was under the impression that it still needed VC Face overall for the actual, like, you know, head and body tilting. I didn't think it could do what VC Face was already doing. You don't even use VC Face anymore. Okay, maybe Vignon definitely has its advantages then. Well, I now know this for when I, you know, at the end of the stream, when I have to try and get everything working again. The Phobad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the Salt Golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ah, Phobad. How do I defeat one of those? You might need an updated version, but have a look. Save yourself some processing power. Fair enough. Thank you very much, Seshar. I will definitely have a look at it, because I know... Because I have the iPhone, at least, so then I can do, like, the shape... I can do all the, like, face tracking through the mobile app, and then piping it into Vignon. It's just... Yeah, I've just not done a lot of experimentation with it, and I've not yet done an update to the 3D model to have, like, all the AR kit... all the AR kit shape keys on it. I should really think about doing that, or at least approaching someone who has 3D AR kit experience to apply that to my zebra, because he's got a bit of a long face. Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes, then. Alright, let's see how he does.
Faboy_97 paid me to say what country's capital is growing the fastest. Ireland? Every day it's Dublin.
Nice one. I can't wait for auditory tags to be applied to Twitch speaker. I feel like it would help with making giving people a lot more of their stand-up career up and coming. Alrighty, Weiscar. It's not easy fighting with the liberator of Alamigo watching your every move, but I got the job. Thanks for the advice, Grant. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the sultry before Granddad starts to worry. I've been snipped into pieces and fed to a Yabby's hatchling. Meow. Hey, Sashera, do you have a Switch? And do you have Mario Kart 8? Jump. Uh-oh. Why am I getting a text message? Oh, cool. It's just Telstra telling me that I've paid my phone bill. Thank Christ. I was worried for a second. I thought it was going to be something much worse telling me, like I failed to pay my phone bill. But it's a good thing. I was able to pay my phone bill. It means I can now spend more of my money on food. I'm gonna be real. I probably shouldn't be spending more of my money on food, but I can't stop myself spending money on food. Yeah, I just really like fast food, and I need to stop doing that. I just don't have a really good method of stopping myself right now. I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those besties then, did you? I fought them myself. After a bit of instruction from Grant here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Weiskar. A fine young lad indeed. Too often of late, I hear tales of folk over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like taking the sultry ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Nice. How far away am I from, like, getting through the rest of this nonsense, I wonder? Hang on. What's this? Storm, Blood... Main scenario quests. Nope, we need to go out of here. Main scenario quests. Alright. Ding, 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 ding. Alright, so... Post-Storm Blood. A blissful arrival. Okay, so we're 2 away from finishing this particular patch. Giving us the measure of his reach. And some weapons. Nice. It seems Weiskar has the sultry's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next step with Master Watt and completed my investigation of the site. With a little work, the vacant building here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Aldelin. Apologies for the interruption, sir, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Huh? Do not feel obliged to wait here on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt, and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah. You should go. General Aldean asks that you wait for him by the main gate in the Alamegan Quarter. My apologies again, sir. Fare you well. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. How is the quality of the stream right now, if you mind me asking? I'm currently running it. I just went with like OBS's like recommended defaults, which are 1080p and maximum 6,000 kilobits. I don't know if this is it's 60 frames a second, by the by. 60 frames a second, 1080p. I'm not 100% certain if everyone can view it like this, because if I play at like a more... Why you gotta speak Vietnamese to me? Anywhoosies. So, because I don't know if everyone will have, you know, strong internet connections. Like, fun fact, I can see, like, some of the device types that people observe me on. And sure, there's a lot of people, there's like 40% of peeps who watch me via the website. So they're probably like on a desktop or a laptop. But then there's like a good chunk of people because, you know, maybe they're like furry cures and they're watching it when they should be asleep. So that means they're watching it on a mobile phone. A lot of Android users, amazingly enough. Where am I going? This way. Also, I need to figure out, like, where the next blue tick quest is in here, so then that way I can fly around. Actually, what I can do is I can just Google it. The iPhone is lame. The iPhone is not lame. The iPhone is the one that did the AR kit nonsense and had, you know, massive steps in VTubing. Now it's true that VTubers, like most of the big tech, is happening because of other VTubers making a push for other things. But I'm gonna be real with you. It wasn't until the iPhone introduced the AR kit and made a standardization on how to examine the face and what shape keys to watch out for on the face. It wasn't until that Apple decided to, you know, standardize that shit that someone, Vignon in this instance, decided to follow that standardization and put it onto the iPhone. Android, the battery though, yes, the battery is shit. This is why mine is just forever plugged in. It's probably disintegrating the battery as I speak and putting it so that I will always have to have it plugged in. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Also, hi there, Jovial. Welcome to the stream. I should have a sip, shouldn't I? I'm gonna get a sip. Hang on. Hi, Kiaru. No, I'm not locking the bar. Chat. Sashera. Dazzy, you can see it.
Pull the lever, Unc.
Ah! Look at it. Look at it, chat. This is the toolbar of your average himbo. Just icons all over the fucking place.
Femboy paid me to say June is Men's Mental Health Month. Not enough men are open about talking about their mental health, maybe perceiving it as a weakness, but if they are open they will see that it is a normal aspect of everyone's life in some way or another.
I don't have the limit break. I'm a tank. Do you really think I'm gonna get the limit break that often? Oh.
People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another
Leon!
forms.
Hi.
Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus. But it is no concern.
All right, hopefully the hug command works. You use the numpad mouse buttons for yours, so you can't talk. Ah, okay. Oh no, the hug lines don't work. I need to fix the hug line. Hang on. Where is it? Where's hugs? Hang on. Hug message. That was one of the chatbot things that didn't work. Read a random thingy-majiggy from Ding. All right, let's try this again. Let me try and hug Ryan. Yeah! I gave you a feel-good hug surprise. There we go. No, I'm not locking the toolbar. All right, hang on a sec. Now I need to, like, now I'm paranoid. What else am I missing from the chat thingy-majiggy? All right, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That's fine. We just fixed that. Oh, I need to fix this. Ba, ba, ba. Pull the lever, Grunk. Wrong lever! Yeah, it's freeze framed. You weren't gonna, like, see me, like, drop or anything like that. Okay, so the heavy bullet is done. Lurking message is fine. The build I've recently... Yep, it's got the 5950 in there. It's got the quote system. Test.
Syra, you paid me to say jokes on you. I just held you over a whole freeze-framed.
You wrote whole wrong. All right, hang on a second. Core overlays. Why? There we go. Sorry, I just had to do some silly shit, okay? It was just a black screen for a quick minute because I was fucking around with this. All right, these are fine. That's fine. I need to update that. That should be fine. That should be fine. That should be fine. Yep, that's fine. Alrighty, move you off to the side because I don't need you anymore. How does it feel to what?
We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light.
Yeah, Hole is with a W.
I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Vaguely. It's been a while.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Why am I given choices here? Execution is not the answer here. All of the actions they've done so far has been...
You would spare these animals. Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine.
Everything they did was to try and liberate Alamigo, and what's more is, you know, through a weird sense, their actions is what enforced us to, you know, fight. It's not that crazy.
In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard.
Please maybe look up what Hole is, unless you're calling it an asshole.
Damn you. Hang on,
For
I need to...
yours 12 thinks 20 squats.
Of course you think I need to do 20 squats.
Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
Here we go. Big stretch! It is hard being a Himbo, Kiaru.
I
You are
bear a
correct.
share of the blame for Ilbert's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did.
Alright, here we go. Damn, 86% Himbo. Nice work. Alright, here we go. 20 squats. 1, 2, 3. PNG tuber? Yes, Code, I am a PNG tuber. I shall explain after these squats. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ugh. Thank you. Thank you for the 20 squats. Also, no, Code, don't listen to him, because here's the thing. Here's the kicker. He wrote joke... Let me just copy the text that he wrote. He wrote, "Joke's on you, I just held you over a hole freeze-framed." Like, I was making the joke that he was like, oh, you misspelt hole because, you know, for a whole freeze frame, as if freeze frame was like a unit of time. Instead, he didn't do that. Anywhoosies, yes, I'm a PNG tuber. The reason why is because I thought I could get my... I thought I could install my new operating system, Windows 11. I thought I could install that onto a brand new hard drive and get all my files, get all my programs and configurations done in under 3 hours. That obviously did not happen, because while I got a number of my programs to do like 90% of my stream in under 3 hours, I didn't get all the configurations and preferences done. So that's why you're seeing me streaming at 1080p 60 frames a second. It's also why you're seeing with, like, you know, half the redeems turned off. Did I do an oopsie whoopsie? Did I do a fucky wucky? Did I do a oopsie-doozles? Yes, I did. Because I did not back up the... I did not do... Not a backup. I didn't do an export of VC Face and Vignon. I thought I could get all this shit done in 3 hours, and it turns out I couldn't. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the stream.
Things could have been
Hence
different.
why you're seeing me as a PNG tuber with most of the redeems turned off.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness.
How tall is the horse? 7 feet. I don't know if I'm lying or not. I can't remember what I put on my ref sheet. The 2 hacked counts will be deleted. Nice. Although, I don't know if you need to have, like, the first one deleted, though, Code.
Take my place at the Sultana's side.
Like, for those who are not aware, Code the Yoshi, hackers got at Code the Yoshi. They got, so hence why there's this talk about deletion of accounts and all this sort of stuff. And, like, getting your account hacked and shit like that is a very spooky, very fucked incident, because that happened to me a few months ago with Twitter and Telegram. Absolutely abysmal experience, let me tell you. And you are paranoid as fuck wondering what else they've grabbed or what else they can get into. So I understand I understand doing, like, say, a new PayPal account. I 100% understand that route because, you know, one, PayPal is very easy to set up and such. I don't know if, you know, especially if you can set up two-factor authentication, and better yet, you can set up a different two-factor authentication on Discord. I don't know if you need to go as far as deleting the two Discord accounts and starting up technically a third one. I feel like you could possibly get away with recovering the first one and doing just a really, like, just updating the password, updating the 2FA, and just kicking out all sessions. You're locked out of both. Ah, okay. That's the problem. Because if you had access to either one of those, then yeah. But if you got access to neither, then yeah, maybe deletion is the best case.
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay.
Will you not stay, Raban?
The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword.
But you didn't, did you? Because you are too indebted to a potato princess.
I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Mm-hmm.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain.
Pull the lever, Rank.
No, don't pull the lever! Discord won't remove two-factor. Oh, so...
And all the rest are clamoring for me to stay. I trust you'll send me on my way.
So the issue is that, wait, what? No, won't remove two-factor, but they will delete the... No, you should be able to make, like, more than one two-factor authentication method on Discord, so then that way, when you set up the second one, you can remove the first. I don't have Discord installed right now, so I can't, like, confirm that. But I swear that was, like, one of the things you can do. Hang on. Like, privacy and... No, not privacy and... It's... Actually, no. Is it in here? No, it isn't. My profile. You can... Yeah, you can remove... Like, I can remove 2FA on my side. Huh. And then there's, like, SMS backup. Weird. Ah. You can't without the codes. Fuck. Rightio. Took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled, Ehrenwald, what news? We have a problem, sir. A group of Anata have arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vera. These are Quiliana, and the ones that summon the Primal. They are insisting that they be allowed to attend the council. Liz is trying to reason with them, but she may need some help. An invitation was extended to all of the native base tribes, but we assumed the Quiliana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready to battle. Grant, you've dealt with these Quiliana before. I'd have you at my side. The Lalafell is his child. How the flip does that work, or is he just adopted? He's probably adopted for all I know, but I'm not going to go into full details trying to understand all that. Yep, cool, I can do it from the outside. Wait, what? What? Kiaru. Namino is half his age. What? Or is this just gonna be like one of those weird... Ah, god fucking damn it, I have no clue anymore. I don't know how I feel about any of this. Also, I now have to do the annoying bit of... dink, random mount. And of course this guy just drops to his death. Because for some reason, I don't have the next flying thing here. I don't know where it is. Well, I didn't know that, Kiaru. I did not know that. You thought it was El Chupacabra? This thing? Oh, no. It's just a weird, eyeball thing. Like, I may be knowledgeable of some things on Final Fantasy, but I'm not knowledgeable on everything on Final Fantasy. As you can tell with my unlocked toolbar. Hi there, Velk. How goes the Final Fantasying? It goes A-okay. I have recently reinstalled Windows 11. I've recently installed Windows 11 on a brand new hard drive, hence why you may be seeing me as a PNG tuber instead of my normal 3D self. And that's because I did not restore all of my preferences and configurations on some of the programs. But I still have my fun sounds. There we go. I hope it was because I'm scared of the dark things Rule would do with that info if the joke was true. Having never looked, but knowing Rule 34 and knowing about E621, I hate to break it to you, Wild Saber, but I'm fairly sure there are some people who have done that. You have to remember, the second most common League of Legends character in Rule 34 is Teemo. Fun fact, chat. Number 1 is, fucking, what's Mahuzi? The nine-tailed fox lady. And the second one is Teemo. Thanks, I hate it. Exactly. Well, why don't you give me a fun fact, then, that boy? You got comedic thingamadoogies, you can give me fun facts. No, I obviously came here through the back way. Fun fact, you suck. Hang on. I can do something funny. Hang on. Where's my buttons? Where are my buttons? Here they are. There we go. Grant! Raban! Gods, it's good to see you! Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss. But we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Gear Albania home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of Anatar. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must first ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will all be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, Let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Oh, that's a cool fun fact, Hawaiian pizza. And very topical, because your name is eating Hawaiian pizza. Fun fact, did you know the Hawaiian pizza was made in Canada? Everyone thinks it's an Australian thing, but it's not. The Australians don't make good pizza. They haven't invented any cool new pizza. It was the Canadians. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? Yay, we get ourselves weapons. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. How's it going, Hawaiian pizza? All right, hang on. Let's see, what kind of weapons do we get? The Odenta Kai. Nice. Ooh. Nice. Ravana. Hey, and we get ourselves a dress-up thingy-majiggy with detachable arm optional. I see what you're doing there, game. You are mean, but let's be real, we all laughed at the submarine. This Quiana's elder's intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, Grant? Mayhaps even the enthralled can learn to compromise. You believe an understanding could be reached? 'Tis not entirely unheard of, I suppose. Those who followed Saint Shiva eventually sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances.
Faboy_97 paid me to say hey Grant. Fun fact, did you know that there are 5 sheep for every resident in New Zealand? Also, you suck.
No, you suck! Although, to be real, Fat Boy, 2 things. Number 1, that is a cool fun fact. Second off, you call me suck again and you will get timed out. I do not want this kind of behavior to be, you know, pushed repetitiously. Also, I just see what you wrote there, Velk. Nice one. Triple kill with a headshot as a widow. Play of the game. Sim, who got 1 kill. Alrighty. Dink. I will round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan Quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Grant. Alavirus! Welcome to the stream. I am currently a PNG tuber. I probably, like, blew out some people's ears.
That's a lot of nuts!
That boy. There are 2 moderators in my chat right now. They probably have an itchy trigger finger of like, ah, yes, I can use my moderation powers and time out this person for 30 seconds. Get ready. I'm gonna be like, bailiff, whack this man's pee-pee, and then next thing you know, code is just gonna go dong. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. You can finally meet cool peeps at Aroa. You're at Aroar? You're at the what the, how do you pronounce it? Hang on. Auraawara.
Aurora.
Aurora. You're at Aurora? Why didn't they just call, like, why did they type it out so weirdly? Where am I going? Back in here. Cool. Oh, Velk. I need your help. I don't know where the missing Aether Current, like, quest thingy-majiggy is on this map. And I can't fly anywhere. Aurora is busy being Borealis? Eh. Like, I don't trust you. Sorry, Alvirus. It wasn't that great of a pun. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't Alvirus that said that. I'm sorry. Shit, Alvirus, you're cool. Kiaru, the pun didn't work out too well. Now you have to stare at my unlocked thingy-majiggy for the next few seconds as I Google where the F I need to go for the flying Aether Current mission in the
Pull
locks.
the lever, Trunk.
You got to meet Kusaki, Mega, Zephora, Aussie Griff, Icy, and Sunset. Is it not in my quest log? Hang on. Oh! It is. There it is. I need to go talk to this man. If I were a fish. Hang on, you can't see it. This man. If I were a fish. I knew I was missing something. Oh, there he is. There's my taxi. Invite to party. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Eating Hawaiian Kwanzaa paid me to say what did the pepperoni say to the chef. You want a pizza me?
Alright. I need to find... There he is. This... I just couldn't see... Oh, that's why. He was a literal potato man. No wonder I couldn't see him. He was a potato man under the bridge. Ah, Captain Zeebs. Lieutenant Dorothy said you might be on your way. Ready to get your boots wet, are we? Yeah, yep. Cool. Awesome. Now I need to... obtain the Imperial Secret. Alright, cool. For a second there, I didn't know where I was going because I did not read the quest log. Reading the quest helps explain the quest. Oh, what the fuck? That was fast. Also, wait, hang on. Why? There we go, it's control. So, how do I do the quest? Did you read the quest? Reading the quest explains the quest. You are at... And that's what I had to do. Alright, map. Okay, so it's somewhere... Why doesn't it, like, appear on here, I wonder? It's somewhere down... Oh, Jesus Christ, how
Eating
did...
Hawaiian Kwanzaa paid me to say you will always have a pizza my hut.
That was a good one. I like it. I'm definitely gonna need to have the... Maybe I should look into a new TTS spot, so then that way you guys can get the Parsity tags. Maybe that's what I need to do, is... That way the TTS command will instead... Oh, I see a chest. Sprint. Oh my god, he's like so slow if I only use control space. I have to like go into like a fucking spiral. Too far below? Jesus. There we go. Damn it, I can't ride. Yay! Hopefully the whale will be quicker. We all got crepes too, and Kusaki gave you a sticker emote on your phone now. Hey, that's pretty cool. I am really fucking jealous that you're able to hang out with them, though, to be real with you. When I went to Furdu, I did not properly communicate with anyone that I was going until, like, maybe a weekend ahead of time. And did not have, like, a proper group of friends to hang out with. And those that I did, it was very impromptu and very low. Like, one of the group's highlights in that trip was, like, one of their highlight evenings was going to get pizza from a wall. Imperial material crate, here you go.
Sire, you paid me to say, is Grant stinky? My sources say armpit.
Am I going to the right thing? No, I'm not, but once I hand it into there, then I'll be able to, like, do the fun thing in the dudes. Alright, here we go. Gotta go talk to Dorothy. And then Mega gave you a Mega... Mega gave you a Mega plush? Wait, did you buy the Mega plush or did she give you the Mega plush? I am so confused. I had to buy my Mega plush. Welcome back, Captain Zeebs. Was there aught to be found? A fortune in stolen jewelry, was it? That explains the prisoner's unwillingness to share. As my agents explained. Yep, cool. Yes! Observe, chat. Observe. Look at him. Look at the cutest boy. Look at the cutest boy. Look at him. Isn't he just the cutest boy? And we have like the coolest soundtrack with him as well. Like, listen. Listen to this. Isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? Oh, so cute. Meanwhile, look at a rack over here, just a fucking snowman. What do you got?
Eating Hawaiian Pwan Sar paid me to say, what does your Canadian friend have in common with the Empire? Palpatine.
No, no Iraq here. Only snowman. Just your local snowman in the desert. Nothing to worry about here, as we have an unsuspicious snowman here. All right. I haven't used this mount in a while though. This was like one of the first mounts I got as well because of achievement hunting. I got this giant-ass fucking behemoth, and they didn't give him, like, any commands. They just make him, like, a big fuck-off boy. And look at me, just sitting all fucking regal. Like, look at him. Just... Your local pet shop doesn't want to explain this to you, but this is what peak physical condition looks like in your pet. And there's not a thing you can do to stop it. He used to not be able to fly. Well, he is able to fly. All mounts are able to fly. Observe. Also, I need to clear that map. There we go. Look at us go. Look at the power. You know, just look at him just running on the fucking air like that. That used to not be the case. Even the base chocobo, you had to do a quest. Fair enough. I'm guessing, like, the reason being was because when they did introduce the Aether Currents, like these ones here, that was when they had separate mounts for the flying and then mounts for the riding. So there used to be, like, two separate ones. And I guess the running ones used to be faster than the flying, but then they removed such things and they just turned it into, like, a simplified system of you, like, as you go through the Aether Currents, your mounts get faster naturally or through the quest line, and they go through both, you know, both land and flying with no difference in speeds between each of them. That's my assessment. Alrighty. They just did it on a case-by-case basis. Oh. So, kind of like when they, you know, decide to make this species here, and they, you know, go willy-nilly on whether or not they get a hat or not. Here's the thing that irks me. Monocle? Fine. Tutu? Fine. Helmet? Absolutely not. Sunglasses? Sure. I didn't get a helmet, but I can, but he won't wear one. Helmet? Absolutely not. Helmet? Nah. Bunny ears? Well, that makes sense, not to put bunny ears on a bunny ear. Hat? Nah. Horns? Apparently, yes. This is okay. Giant chocobo head is okay. And then sunglasses, totally fine. And then just a giant fuck-off mask. It gets better. Even we Rosso get Reaper hats. Hey, I got something to look forward to. Nice. Oh, there's your Reaper hat. Hang on.
Faboy_97 paid me to say, did you hear that I'm reading a book about anti-gravity? It's impossible to put down.
Nice one. That's a cool one. This reminds me of Bloodborne, to be real with you. It makes me think of the hunter attire that you see in the comic and in the splash art. Hello, Micah Blade. Welcome to the stream. I saw you sending a message earlier. I forgot what it said. I'm sorry. How's it going? How are you doing? I am currently going through the main quest line. I'm about to finish this one patch, and I will think of something that we can play with Velk. So then that way he's not just, you know, running right behind me, wondering what the next cutscene that he has to wait for me to transition through is. No, don't pull the lever, Alvirus! Don't pull the lever! Darn you. Grant, I have brought reinforcements. Erenvol told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled.
Glug, glug,
I am not familiar.
Glug, glug.
Hydrate time. You're just happy to chill? You need anything done, though? Happy to help. Not to worry. I'm half tempted to cut the stream short, though, like, after this patch, because, you know, I really want to try and, like, you know, fix my stream, and if I can do, like, more before tomorrow, then I'm probably going to be better off for it, especially since I've been able to, like, you know, properly... Your bun emote? Yes. It's not a bun, it's a cake. And if you subscribed, you get one. Thank you for the hydrate. I am not familiar with the Quiana's tribe myself, but Alize's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races, despised it, in fact, even compared to other Anatas. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lys was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, 'twould seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Y'shtola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Sounds good. Understood. We should join General Alden inside, then. Grant, do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guards there should have been instructed to let us pass. Why do we own this place now. Why do I have to go through this backwards? Fucking ridiculous. We own this joint now. We should be able to just walk wherever the hell we want and enter in however we want. All right. Now that I've, you know, done all the Aether Currents, I can now just fly to get to where I need to go. Resistance. You're with the Scions, sir. General Aldian left orders that you were to be escorted inside. If you will follow me, yes, we shall enter the royal palace. We'll get through our cutscene and we'll have a look at who we might go and raid. God, I really want to piss. Shit. Oh, that's a lot of different representatives. Okay. Oh, I don't remember those, Who is that? I've never seen that species before.
Thank you all for coming.
Okay, cool. I can just have it automatically going through.
I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place?
Please don't let that be an open invitation.
Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Okay, good play. You could have easily have fucked up that play if someone decided to just pipe up and say, "I shall take the throne." Oh, you were literally sitting in a circle. Are you kidding me? Not even a chair? Are you fucking serious?
Expertly done. Lise has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
I'm sorry, Alphanod. Okay, you guys can't see the expression I'm pulling off. just can't stop smiling. Oh, just Liz and all the fucking delegates just sitting on the floor, and then Alphanod being like, she removed the choice of monarchy early in the game. Alphanod sounds like a parent who's like, you know, so proud of their child sharing their toys, and it's just like, yes, this was a very good choice, Simon. Bravo, you did the right thing. You will get more friends this way. This is how you should behave on the playground. It has this same sort of tone from Alphanod, where it's just like, yes. No monarchy, just joint government, sitting on the floor, being friends. Just like my old school days. Oh my...
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
You even had the old man sitting on the floor.
Thank you, Ragenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kalyana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
Oh no.
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote themselves to our faith.
There's always a Christian in the group.
You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
Are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm sorry, did they just like hide the crystals in the fucking water? Did we really not like scope out this place? Are you fucking kidding me?
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Using Hawaiian folk, Sar paid me to say what type of shoes do white mages wear.
Okay, did we always have that superpower to just, like, throw our hand up and block like that?
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned!
That's not great. The carbuncle.
No, you don't!
The Kaliana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvald to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
All right, I think I have an idea.
I'm guessing she is going to get the Whatsamahoozy. She's going to get the Butcher of Whatsamahoos. Because she technically has... Like, she technically has an echo in them. So if they can bring in an additional unit to assist us in fighting a Primal, that's probably our best option.
Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Dun, 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 dun. Ah!
Eating Hawaiian Kwanzaa paid me to say what do people do when they are cold. Shiva.
Use the duty command deflect to dissipate the Aether spheres Lakshmi releases during battle. Allowing an ally to be enthralled will result in failure. Noted. So. Okay, hopefully she's like extra weak.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity.
Going to be spending my entire time doing this, aren't I? Oh, Jesus, I'm about to spend my entire time doing this.
I shall free you from your hate!
Oh, cutscene. They can't all group up for you to make life easy, can they? Well, no, because they have to, like, spread thin, so then that way they don't get easily AoE'd by the other side of the enemy.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
Oh, boy. Are they gonna get the Butcher? Yep, thought so. I knew it. They wouldn't have, like, teased us with the whole echo thingy-madiggy. She has a chance to be helpful for us.
Do you want to kill this thing or not?
Sounds like a plan. Finally! She is going to be helpful. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, and I'm guessing this is actually technically like the last mission in patch 4.1 as well. So we got it good. I did not bother throwing up my tank buster for everyone else. I just did it for myself. They're NPCs, they can do it. Stand ready. Nice. Will you let me do my thing? What's Liz doing? Liz, you don't have the echo. Relatively long fight, isn't it? She is sexy. I just wish she had bigger boobs. Horny. All right. What's our ready? Up. Missed someone. Oh god, we gotta do this all over again. You could literally rest your weary soul in them before. God damn it, we have to start all the way from the beginning.
Eating Hawaiians 1-star pages to say what the poor adventurers eat.
Why, I offer you peace and serenity. I shall free you from your hate!
Will Grant fail again? Oh boy. Also, I need to fix my prediction overlay for whatever reason. That's not great. Oh, there were so many of them. Got 1,000 points saying, nah, I won't. I'm having confidence.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time.
Here we go. Technically already seen this, so let's move on. Defeat Lakshmi. That really quickly, so then that way I can get my 1-2-3 combo completed enough. Now I have to like wait for my entire thingamajiggy to go down. Alright, so the blue-dressed snakes are the enemy, the purple-dressed snakes are the allies. I just need to remember that for future. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, we forsake eternal bliss. Just on the corner. Damn it, I'm not close enough. Alright, this is gonna be a fun time. Here we go, button mashing time. Get me out, get me out, get me out, now!
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
focused right now. Now we have to like race against the clock, do we?
Here it comes!
There we go. Thank you for the rainbow. Hopefully this will help. Yes! Woo! Duty completed! Will I fail again? Nah, I will not fail again. I succeeded! Me, I win! Yes! Why does Zeebs not have the full VR body today? It's because I reinstalled my operating system. I'm now on Windows 11 on a brand new hard drive. I may have copied over documents and kept my old hard drive free from being wiped and such, but I didn't download every program and I didn't transfer all the all the configurations. So that's something I'm going to be doing after this patch. So give me a fewies. Oh no, he's gonna have a fucking aneurysm again. Alrighty. This is an early moment. This isn't very far back or old. This is actually relatively new. It's just a new hard drive, Benru. It's not like an entirely new PC, so it's just some spring cleaning. Just some small spring cleaning.
I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need someone with the echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
Nice. That was like, we knew this was going to happen, because quite frankly, she's, like, sure, she's absolutely depressed and doesn't want to, you know, live with the consequences of her actions trying to free Alamigo her own ways by, you know, making herself servant to the Empire, but she is most certainly going to jump on and cling to, like, saving Alamigo. And this one was a very simple one at that as well. It was a primal. It was something that everyone, even against her earlier, would agree, under the circumstances, she needed to do this.
The Butcher.
They would not have been able to agree, you know, rationally that they could have done this without her. And now she's getting... So now she's getting empathy.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
Oh, so she has, like, Krill's, like, thingamadoogs. Because I knew they had Kriel as, like, you know, the source of the echo. I wasn't, like, 100% that it was like, oh, she has the empathy thing like Krill had. Because, like, let's be real. Like, that's the whole point of the echo. So, if Krill's is meant to be, like, more emotionally based than ours being, like, you know, just small empathy,
Not
then,
you.
yeah, this would probably be...
You, I will never forgive.
You know, problematic.
But I will thank you.
Furry Cures 1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
Mm-hmm. No, don't pull the lever. Not so soon. Why do I even have that lever?
Did you see it?
Alrighty, let me do my 20 squats. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Eating
4,
Hawaiian Pwan-Sa
5,
paid me to say
6,
what do moguls use
7,
when they go shopping.
8.
Coupons.
9. That's a good one. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Dun, 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 dun. Well fought, Grant Ehrenwald. That was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Quiliana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We will be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have. It's my fault. My stupid mistake. Nah, lass. We were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our rank. The soldiers who first spoke up in favor of the Quiliana, keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under...
Eating Hawaiian Pwan-Sa paid me to say what does every Moogle need in the morning. A Cupo coffee.
That was also a good one. Thanks, Shishtola. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola turned up. What was she even doing here? I asked her to come. And then we get an explanation that we learned through our echo. Dun. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfrid was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done, but I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She just wanted to fight for her country. If you say the word in which Fordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we will risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talks till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. 'Tis a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphanod. The first steps will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed all ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted. Grant, you and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it. I think he does remember, but this is why he's like hands-offish rather than being a leader.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government modelled on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people.
Nice. A republic. Just like the Founding Fathers intended.
It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before
Thank
I
you for the
leave.
boops. Oh! The fuck is she doing here? I thought you were all the way in Uldar. What the hell?
Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Thank you for the boops.
Rabon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
Wow. After all he told
Your
me
Grace.
that he was going to go back to you because he gave his word.
Rabon, I am no longer a child.
Fired.
Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I
lost an
remember full
arm,
well
lady.
the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
Who? Who did you talk
A
to?
most trusted advisor. And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
Confidence. The audacity of this
What
man.
trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
Yes.
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies.
I feel like that's gonna bite her back in the ass. Like, I do not trust her in
follow your
actually
heart,
taking on, like,
please.
any syndicate member.
You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
They're not gonna kiss. It would be weird if they kissed.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
What's wrong with Mikote? Hey. The way you put that in that sentence, this game has Mikote and Lalafels, makes me suspicious. What do you have against the Mikote? What do you have against the cat girls? Ba 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 ba. FBI, open up!
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
So
You're
much
kind to
cutscene.
include me, Lise. But we both know who did most of the work.
Cutscene.
I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in this.
You know it.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabanyad.
Nice.
She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think you had privacy, Your Majesty?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Rauban. He has an important announcement to make.
William, if I wanted to talk to a drip, I'd open a faucet. Have you ever heard that
As of
phrase?
yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment.
Lol. Watch this man take the throne.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
I jest. He's not going to take the throne.
Yes, the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a
Fucking
wicked
Lalafels.
edge to her humor. And you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
Yeah, especially since you haven't even, like, swung that sword.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Yes, it most likely means that he is staying.
Aye. That seems to be the way of it.
Pippin will lose an arm, just as it has to be for any sergeant or general of the Immortal Flames. They must have a missing arm.
If he says.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised. Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any of...
Yep, cool. Don't care about your word. You were just waiting for that for the wrong... The game would have been very funny if they did that, but considering it's Raban's right hand that still remains, I think they were, like, totally fine with that. I think it's about time. Head back to Regal's Reach. What's next for the rest of you? Da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun. Welcome to the company. Da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun. Upon completion of this quest, you'll be able to access the palace rooftop gardens by speaking to the royal menagerie. Dun, dun. And once we complete this quest, we'll be done with patch 4.1. I was wondering when the fuck that would happen, honestly, Kiaru. I was wondering when the fuck we'd actually get, like, Final Fantasy magic regrowing limbs. We're not at patch 4.9 yet, Code. This is just patch 4.1. Sprint. Meow. Meow. Wom wom. Wom 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 wom. Bum 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 bum. I have a lot to catch up on. And what's more is, like, looking at the quest line, it's like, this took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It took me, like, 3 streams to get through... It took me 3 streams to get through 11 quests. And I've got, like... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 is 4.2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is 4.3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, 7. Like, it took me 3 streams to go through, like, 11. It's gonna take me another 2 streams to go through, like, each patch. Dun, 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 dun. Here we are again. Alphanaut has regained see, am I missed anything? Patrolling the palace grounds with Fancree when we heard the reports of a primal in the throne room. As others have, you can say that whole episode. Resistance scouts keep track of the Queen Ali's movements. Prepared for Imperial counterattacks. A military commander with far more experience than me. Oh, I wonder. The Bull of Alamigo? We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller, independent groups. And when Conrad passes command on to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Regal's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the Resistance spokesperson at the time and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray, but that time has passed. When I speak with other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I will be nominating Ravan as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. He is in all respects the ideal choice. Yay! And we get ourselves a wind-up Rabal, where it says... Hang on, let me move this. Detachable arm is optional. It's about as poignant as making fun of a submarine this week. Oh, is that Gozetsu? Is it you, old man? I do give thanks to the kami that my makeshift rafts withstood the fury of the seas. Wait, gruffy voice. Old gruffy voice. But their generosity ended. Without coin in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look just like some jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. Puffin! Puffin! Hi, Puffin! Welcome to the stream! Hello! Why you got a clown on me? Why you got a clown on me being a PNG tuber?
Their generosity ended.
Ah! Puffin clowns everywhere! Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Grant. I am a variety Himbo streamer. I am currently a PNG tuber because... this is gonna be very on topic with it. No, don't pull the lever while I'm in the middle of explaining things. As I was saying before B rudely pulled the lever, those clown emotes are probably gonna be very, like, on the nose here because obviously Puffin, they aren't aware of this, or maybe they were, but who knows. But I decided 3 hours before I started streaming that I was going to go and put a new hard drive in my PC and install Windows 11 and start off on a clean slate and really quickly reinstall OBS, Chrome, all the different programs. Unfortunately, I did a bit of an oopsie-whoopsie. A fuckaroonies. I don't know any other, like, funny phrases to do for my oopsie-woozies and fuckaroonies, but, I did not get everything done. Hence why I'm a PNG tuber instead of my cool, thick... Hang on, do I have an echo? No, I don't have an echo. Thick Himbo zebra in his 3D model. How was...
Fucky wucky.
Fucky wucky. How was Brotato, Puffin? How was Brotato? Oh, Silly Willy, is that what it was? Hi, Burbaloon. Zeebs can be an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I'm a himbo, okay? It says here on my shirt, O-P-W-I-Y. And that spells himbo. That. What a...
Pull the lever, Gronk.
Fantastic. It was brolicious. Excellent. Speaking of brolicious, these dango are delicious. Will you have one? Huh? More sweetbreads? I surrender my blade to secure what few coins we have. Is she an idiot? Is she just like a... Is she like a rich girl idiot? Is she a mean girl idiot? This bitch, right? This bitch, she decided to flood a palace out of spite to kill us. She survived and was stuck with Gozetsu on an abandoned island. Oh, Gozetsu is the big dude. He's the big old man. The tiny lady there, this fucking like mean little, look at her. She doesn't deserve, look at her doing the thingy. Look at her having just, she's just fucking around. Look at her. Grr. Ugh. She's just being a little fucking gremlin. This woman is a fucking terrorist and like subjugated fascism and all kinds of fucking nonsense in Doma. And here she is, just no cares in the world, just being like, ah yes, this dango is delicious. Won't you have one? I spent the last of our coin.
Sire, you paid me to say Sue. Nom 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 nom. I'm a war criminal. Nom 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 nom.
Exactly. Exactly. Fucking war criminal. And here they are just eating a dango as if nothing was a problem. Bah. 'Tis like talking to a child. I feel you, Gozetsu. Why, fate saddled me with this burden I shall never know, but I am alive and I must return to my master's side. He got up too fast. What's the problem? That woman is a war criminal, Velk. She like was ready to fucking throw a palace on top of our heads and was talking shit to Gozetsu and such and ends up on an abandoned island with him. They escape that island and here she is just sort of like, hee hee, dangos are delicious. BRBs, you're gonna work? Not to worry, Puffin. You go unwind, you go have your food, your
Sorry,
drink.
you paid me to say, hee I'm a war criminal. Can I have more balls? More balls on sticks. Nom nom, licky licky, don't make me commit crimes.
What do you mean, no? Vel, did we not play we've both played Stormblood at this point. I distinctly remember this woman being responsible for a lot of pain in Doma, and you don't get to say, oh, she was under the control of the Empire. She was a mean bitch. She's just holding the two dangos. She's just running with both of them. It's just like, Mr. Gozetsu, sir. Ah. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. That was a cool scan. I like that scan. That's a cool scan. Have you read the reports? First Doma, then Alamigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read.
Sire, you paid me to say oh no. Where is my daddy Gosetsu going? Daddy Gosetsu, can I have more dango? I want dango. If I don't get what I want, I will war crime. Give me dango.
Brian, you good, Brian? Oh, that was a weird thing from Brian. You okay, Brian? He like went real fast near the end there. You go back down, Brian. You go back down. The bot didn't like that. You can make the bot go faster?
Very rainbow so gay.
Very thank you, Code. Thank you for thinking the rainbow was so gay. On Pride Month of all time. On Pride Month of all things, Code. Also, thank you so much, Trip Fox, for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. We were able to hit 1,000 followers this month. Yay! Do I have like a party streamer sound? Hang on a sec. Or a yippee? Nope, that's not it. Nope.
Bonk!
Nope. Nope. Oh! Okay, Yay! We got to 1,000 followers! We got to 1,000 followers this month! Yay! Alright, back to the game.
Mind giving me 400 of those followers just asking for a friend?
Alrighty then, hang on a second. Shoutouts to Code the Yoshi. Let's see.
Fire sneeze.
We've got Gun Lancer joining us.
Sire, you paid
All
me
I
to
see
say
is Jushi somehow just fucking... What the hell? Jushi, you okay? Oh, I think he glitched.
Jushi crashed, I think.
Just whacking dinosaurs in the PP, are you?
Crash, please. I need that clipped.
Alrighty. You missed the glitch. Oh. My bad. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded and that he has returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head regardless. Nah, Lord Xenos lives? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the providences have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official, and above all, accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words? Let them produce the Viceroy's remains then. We shall soon put the lie to their claims. Oh yeah, we don't have Lord Xenos' corpse, so... yeah, we have no way of proving that Lord Xenos is dead. Lord Xenos went out like a bitch. The man had a hard-on for violence, and we beat him. And he's just like, lo, if only we could fight like this again and again, but lo, we cannot. Sorry, Chiaru, you are not one of my fun little moderators. Unfortunately, you do not visit me enough times and, you know, be a positive influence in my chat to be worthwhile of giving the moderator status. I should probably look into getting other moderators at some point, so then that way I don't have to worry about peeps like Jason and Code not being around, especially when I want to shout out people for, or like, you know, shout outs and such. But yeah. He gave his head as a parting gift. Lol. Yes, he did. Alrighty.
Sire, you paid me to say I just want you to rewatch that clip and see the glitch.
Nah. We ain't doing that. We're gonna end the stream here because, amazingly enough, it is almost 9 p.m. This is normally the time I would actually have to end my stream, and it's probably a good time to end it at the end of, you know, patch 4.1 and before the beginning of patch 4.2. Yes, it is 9 p.m., sorry. It is 9 p.m. So we have to. I know there's like a lot of viewers here who came here from Puffin. Puffin, I don't know if you're still here, but thank you so much for the raid. Bird Blue, welcome. But we need to now look at an entirely different person to go and raid. No, don't pull the lever. Thanks for the stream. Not to worry. I think we'll go for... Let's see. Let's go with Greeny Pika. It looks like they're having just chatting right now. So we're gonna go and raid into them. This should be fun. Alrighty. Ding dong Green Pika. We're gonna go raid into them. Peeny Greeka. Cheeky breaky. Alright, hopefully these buttons work. We are going to go with
Don't make me send you to Jesus myself.
We're gonna go with the classic raid message. If it decides... No, it doesn't decide to do it. Damn it. Alrighty then. Gun. Ding ding. No, not gun. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Gun. We're just gonna go with gun. Normally, it's Himbo raid. Show us your cutest guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Show us your cutest guys, gals, non-binary pals, or prepare to get swole. This is normally what our raid message is. Himbo raid. Show us your cutest guys, gals, and non-binary pals, or prepare to get swole. So that's going to be our raid message. I am going to be back online tomorrow afternoon. I know normally Sundays I'm on the morning, but I have given myself an afternoon for the Sunday to start the stream, which should be giving me plenty of time to fix up my computer and get all my configurations back in order so I may return to you in a 3D fashion. As for everyone else for tonight, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. Right? Puffin, thank you for the raid again, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.